Let's understand the boxed Heartstone and rate it for different styles of play. Use the boxed Heartstone to get the Heartstone, an accessory. Wear the Heartstone to add 25% each to Muscle, Mysticality, and Moxie, gain 3 stats per fight, regenerate between 15 and 20 hit points per adventure, and gain access to the combat skill Steal Monster's Heart. You can cast Steal Monster's Heart in fights against monsters with an odd number of letters in their name to add the middle letter to your Heartstone up to a maximum of 4 letters. You cannot steal numbers, for example from the Warfrat 151st Captain, and monster modifiers such as those in the Special Challenge Path 1 Crazy Random Summer or from using Insanity also modify the ability to cast Steal Monster's Heart and the letter stolen. Amusingly, the monster's name is shortened when you steal its middle letter. Why might you want to collect letters in your Heartstone? Depending on what you spell, you can get an effect, item, fight a monster, or learn one of 6 new skills. Once you learn a skill, equipping the Heartstone gives you access to the skill in all future ascensions, including avatar paths like the current Special Challenge Path Adventurer Meets World. You can pop the Heartstone in your equipped Mr. Store Eternity Codpiece to maintain access to all the Heartstone's unlocked skills while adding 5 pounds of familiar weight. Spell the word Gone with stolen letters to get the combat skill Heartstone Gone, which can be cast up to 5 times per day to instantly defeat your opponent and banish them for 50 adventures. Banish abilities are always useful during an ascension to increase encounters with monsters that help you complete council quests. As an example, if you can banish both the Banshee Librarian and Bookbat in the Haunted Library, then you will only encounter writing desks until you find Lady Spooky Raven's necklace. Spell the word Stun with stolen letters to get the combat skill Heartstone Stun, which can be cast up to 5 times per day to stun your opponent for the rest of the combat. While stuns do not always work on monsters, Heartstone Stun may help you survive more tough fights. Spell the word Boom with stolen letters to get the combat skill Heartstone Boom, which can be cast up to 5 times per day to immediately defeat your opponent and gain extra stats. While the combat still costs an adventure, it may be worthwhile to cast Heartstone Boom for the extra stats or to avoid negative effects during combat such as poisoning. Spell the word Buds with stolen letters to get the non-combat skill Heartstone Buds, which can be cast up to 5 times per day to get 25 adventures of the unwishable effect Best Pals, for an additional 1 familiar experience per combat, 5 pounds of familiar weight, and 10 familiar damage. Heartstone Buds can be an easy way to add weight to your familiar for farming or to help with council quests. Spell the word Buff with stolen letters to get the non-combat skill Heartstone Buff, which can be cast up to 5 times per day to get 25 adventures of the unwishable effect Ultra Heart, for an additional 50 and 50% each to Muscle, Mysticality, and Moxie. Ultra Heart can be a nice buff whenever you're tackling a tough monster, zone, or trying to make progress in Fernswarthy's basement. Last but not least, spell the word Luck with stolen letters to get the non-combat skill Heartstone Luck, which can be cast once per day to get the Lucky Intrinsic. The Lucky Intrinsic can be used both before and after defeating the Naughty Sorceress, for example in the basement of the Castle in the Sky to get all the components for the Wand of Nagamar to defeat the Naughty Sorceress, or in the Purple Light District of the Hobopolis Clan Dungeon to gather cards for the Lewd deck of cards, which is best in slot for sleaze damage. When you steal the letter T to spell the word Goat, your current monster changes into the Dairy Goat, which can help you advance the Mount McLarchuge Council Quest while burning Delay in another zone. When you steal the letter T to spell the word Butt, you can fight Your Butt, an unwishable and uncopyable monster from Mr. Store Monster Manual Factoids. Many useful and odd items can be created by spelling specific words with stolen letters. You can advance council quests by spelling Bean to get the enchanted bean for the giant trash quest, Drum to help explore the arid extra dry desert with the worm riding hooks during the quest for the Holy MacGuffin, Plot to get the amulet of extreme plot significance to help move past the castle basement for the giant trash quest, Pool to get the pool cue to go against the ghost in the haunted billiards room in Spooky Raven Manor, Stew to get the wet stew for Mr. Alarm in the palindrome for the MacGuffin quest, and Tomb for a tomb ratchet to help unlock the fight against Ed the Undying in the pyramid for the MacGuffin quest. You can explore content unlockers, some from old Mr. Store items, by spelling Grid, mask, gong, or pass. A few other potentially useful items can be found by spelling club for a standard eligible shirt that gives 3 adventures if worn at rollover, mojo for a mojo filter to clean 1 used portion of your spleen, soup to get a handful of split pea soup which can be used in combat to banish a monster for 30 turns, tape for spooky VHS tape which can be used as a combat item against a monster to copy, then free kill and yellow ray the copied monster 7 adventures later, most for the potion Most Dangerous Bait, which can be used for a 20 adventure effect to increase monster level by 30, rose for a rose, which can be sold for 2 kroner, sand for a sand dollar, which can be spent with Big Brother Sea Monkey, vest for the Extreme Bipolar Fleece Vest, which can be worn for cold resistance when using brand mouthwash to increase character level, slap for Slap and Slap Again, a size 3 decent quality drink that gives PvP fights, and several size 4 awesome quality drinks such as West for the May West. You can also spell several words to get meat, such as neat or scam. If your 4 letters don't make up one of the recognized words, you'll get 20 adventures of the effect Heartstone Attunement, which picks from 20 elemental damage, 3 elemental resistance, damage absorption, weapon damage, or an increase to hit or mana points. Note that stealing another 4 letters for Heartstone Attunement removes the previous version of the effect. You can steal random letters to fish for a version of Heartstone Attunement that you like. You can also spell one of the recognized words to get 20 adventures of a specific effect. Importantly, you can use the Heartstone to benefit from effects even if they are no longer available under standard restrictions. Spell from to get Fever from the Flavor for Sublime +9 cold resistance when using brand mouthwash, Glow for Healthy Green Glow for an additional 10 pounds of familiar weight, Warm for Warm Shoulders, which gives 5 pounds of familiar weight and 5 familiar experience per combat, Ways for 50 ways to bereave your lover for 100 sleaze damage for either the elemental test at the base of the Naughty Sorceress's Tower or clearing Zeppelin protesters, Pill for Pill Power, which gives an extra 100% to all stats, Muscle, Mysticality, and Moxie, Spit for Spit Upon, which gives 100% to all stats along with 100% extra spell and weapon damage, View for View to Some Meat, which gives an extra 100% meat drops, and Thin for Really Thin Blood, which adds 101,000% to hit points. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Sadly, spelling all those words to get cool effects or items is much harder than it sounds. As an example, getting the letter V to spell vest or view means fighting a spooky vampire in the spooky forest or possessed silverware drawer in the haunted kitchen. Since those zones are both part of early council quests, you'd have to go out of your way to spell view for the meat boost while collecting meat for the nuns during the war on the mysterious island. The 2025 standard normal Turtle Tamer reward Create Paper Parachute lets you choose your monster on your second adventure in a zone with a cooldown effect, and the Mr. Store Peridot of Peril lets you choose a monster to fight on your first visit to each zone in the day, so they can both help find the right letters. The Mr. Store Baby Chest Mimic in Standard, or Pocket Wishes, Clan VIP Fax Machine, and others let you pick a specific monster to fight. If you have free runaways like the combat item Tattered Scrap of Paper or Mr. Store Spring Shoes, you can steal a letter from a monster without spending an adventure. Likewise, with free kills such as the Glark Cable on the Red Zeppelin or Mr. Store skill Assert Your Authority from the Clan VIP photo booth. Routing monster fights in different zones to spell your chosen word can range from tricky to impossible, depending on the word and zones available. A typical player may choose to eschew spelling words during an ascension altogether. Item farmers are unlikely to spend 4 adventures to spell words like mojo for a mojo filter worth only 5,000-ish meat. Speedrunners may find it worthwhile to plan out their approach and pick monsters in a zone, wish for monsters, or run away from monsters to collect letters for their chosen word, while spending a minimum of adventures. So how does the boxed Heartstone measure up? The 6 skills are the most accessible benefit from the Heartstone, and thankfully those skills are useful. Buds adds familiar weight as you switch familiars around for council quests, Gone banishes monsters you don't need, and Luck can help advance a council quest or get a useful item like the Knobgoblin Lunchbox for 3 size 1 epic consumables. Just remember to equip the Heartstone when you need to use the skills. I rate the boxed Heartstone 2 out of 5 stars for quality of life. It's hard to find monsters with the right letters to spell useful words, plus a potential adventure cost for the fight themselves, so the Heartstone doesn't offer much for item or meat farmers other than the effect Best Pals for familiar weight and experience. I rate the Heartstone 1 out of 5 stars for farming. The Heartstone lets you make the drink Slap and Slap Again for PvP fights and stack powerful effects to improve PvP mini-scores, though both at the cost of adventures. I rate the Heartstone 2 out of 5 stars for PvP. The Heartstone offers many items and effects that, with very careful routing through Council Quest zones, can help you defeat the naughty sorceress in fewer adventures. I rate the boxed Heartstone 3 out of 5 stars for speedruns. I hope this helps you decide if you should pick one up.